Okay, so how has your preparation been? Like, how much have you completed? If I can, get quick responses, your syllabus completion status for a November 22 examination. You can either unmute yourself and answer, or you want to type in and you answer. You can do that as well. Just started. Okay, Sarvanan says just started. Others, see, unless we get to know, what is your status, it'll be very difficult us for us to guide you precisely. So important for us to understand where do you stand. Okay, so around 25%, and finishing watching group 1 lectures. Oh wow, nice, Sardesh, very good. Sai Ishwar, 25%, good. Others, whatever is the number, 40%, very good. About to complete, nice. So quite, I see quite good level of preparation. So I have a few things to share before I ask Yogita to start her part, and then I'll come back to the other subjects where I want to share specific strategy. Okay, so I've just made few pointers which I thought would be important for you to understand. Just give me a moment. I hope my screen is visible. Very simple, commonly repeated things, but I would again want to repeat these because a lot of students don't do these things. And we have seen high correlation between students passing the exams and their coverage of these areas. Okay. So the first and the foremost, the most important thing is to complete the syllabus. Now, when I say complete the syllabus, you should complete watching the videos, referring to the notes and also the study material. You should plan it in a way that you have enough time for revision before your examination. And let me tell you, higher level of syllabus completion, I'll also show you the, where you can track your syllabus completion. Higher level of syllabus completion. Hi Shivteja, welcome.
Hi.
Yeah. Higher level of syllabus completion is directly correlated with your success in the examination. Don't think that I will do 50%, 40%, 60%, balance I will do revision lectures, balance I will look at past exam papers and I'll be able to crack the exams. That is not going to work. And I'm telling you the truth upfront because it's important that you complete the syllabus for your exams. That's the first thing. Then of course we'll come to revision planning and all. Only when you complete the syllabus, you can cover other areas like your mock test papers. You have to write. We are providing you mock test papers with every course that you're purchasing. You have to write the mock test papers and we will give you detailed feedback on what has to be done. Then, of course, covering past papers, RTPs, and group 1 is such will have lots of amendments. You have amendments in corporate law, you have amendments in DT, you have amendments in IDT. So this is one area where you have to put focus on. We will definitely come up with our amendments videos nearby the exams time. Okay, this is the general context in which you should be approaching your preparation. Those of you who have not yet started, we will start after the results, we'll start after this, we are looking for some kind of, auspicious day to start. Please leave all of that. Please start as soon as possible. Time is running out. Don't think you have 6 months. Time is running out. May exams are over. November exams are just approaching. You'll not even realize when time passes by. Okay. So one more thing I would like to, just share with you guys. We'll start after this. We are keep track of this. How much percentage of syllabus you should be completing and how much syllabus have you completed. Please keep a track of this because it's very important for you to progress and complete it. So we share, right? What is the actual completion? What is the expected completion? Subject by subject, it's available to you. Okay. So in your dashboard, please ensure that, you keep track of your subjects, follow the study planner, follow the plan, right? And based on that, carry on your preparation. So this is brief from my side. Over to you, Yogita. I'll just give you the access to screen share and, you can, you have something to share?
Yes.
Yeah. So just a second. Yeah, now we can go ahead and share.
Yeah. Hello, dear students. I hope the screen is visible. So I'll just start. So I'll be talking about the corporate and other law strategy that you should be following. Certain simple things that you should keep in mind for the next 4 to 5 months for your November examination, right? So see, first, it's very important that you plan it out before you start. Okay. If you don't plan, then as per your mood, as per your temperaments, you might just sit down anytime. You might just study anytime. So that might not give the best results. So it's important you plan. So when we plan, we need to set some goals. So what goal I think you should be having is that at least you should plan to do 2 to 3 readings of the syllabus. Along with that, you should try to cover 100% of the syllabus, as Surajji rightly said. And along with that, like we discussed, you will have to try to complete exam papers also, mocks also. Now see, in corporate and other laws, many a times, maybe 10 to 20% of the questions, they come from the study material directly. So here the illustrations that are covered inside the material, as well as the questions that are covered after the whole chapter, all of those are mostly covered in the question paper. So it is very important that you cover all of those study material questions also, right? And just have some sort of a deadline. Okay, so maybe try to complete the first reading in, probably if you're going for one group, then try to complete it within 1.5 month, the first reading. And if you're going for two groups, maybe try to complete it in 2 months. Accordingly, you will have to set some sort of time frame for second reading also and third reading also. So for that, I think we have a facility of creating a study plan also on our platform, so you can check it out. Suraj can help you with that.
Yeah, so, yeah. So we do have a customized study planner based on the number of hours you can spend, based on the level of comforts you have. You can have study planner. I just showed you on and once you log in, you must ensure that whatever is listed on that day, by the end of the day, everything is ticked that you have completed them, and follow the percentage completion, because it's let me tell you, if you're not completing 100% even once, it is very difficult to crack the examination. Okay, so it's not some undergraduation course where we will buy some last 5 years paper, finish that and go. That will not work. Please ensure that you cover 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, I'll just discuss briefly what you have to focus on in the first reading, the second reading, and the third reading. Okay, so in the first reading, because the subject is going to be very new for you, try to just focus on conceptual clarity. Why? Because many a times the questions that are asked, there is a small line in the whole section on which the question can be asked. A small part of the provision can also be asked. So if you have done in-depth study, then you will be more able to solve those questions. Versus if you just want to complete the reading 2-3 times just for the sake of it, it might not help. So first reading, try to focus on concepts. Try not to be too worried about remembering everything. You might not remember things in the first reading, but that is the reason why we have 2-3 readings that you should be doing. Okay, so now try making notes. So we have very good notes available on our platform also. You can check them out. Apart from that, if you have to make some additional notes for yourself, you can also create those notes. They will be very useful on the last day reading. Okay, and the first time you make these notes now, they will be helpful in the second reading also and third reading also. And during this first reading, try to solve these study mat questions. Okay. Now let's talk about the second reading. Hopefully, when you move on the second reading, read the notes all over again. They might feel a little monotonous, a little boring, but then you will have to read all of those things again, everything line by line, you'll have to read it. Especially if you have created notes, it will be a smoother process. If you have underlined certain things, if you have marked certain important questions, redo them. Okay. And in the second reading, try doing an active recall method, which means just read the section, read the entire provisions, and then try to recall them in your own words. Okay. And along with that, in the second reading, try solving the exam papers, RTPs, mocks. Okay. Now, finally, in the third reading, try to write a paper, like Surajji rightly said. So write mocks. Okay. And along with that, of course, revision is most important. So you do the revision again, read everything, every single provision. Now, when you're going to be revising, try to go in ABC sequence. Now, in the first reading, of course, now you are going to be beginning the preparation. So it's the first reading. So in the first reading, please try to do the whole course. But in the second reading, third reading, try to go in the sequence of ABC category chapters. Right. Now, apart from that, specifically for law, there are certain important things also that you need to keep in mind. First is, see, in law, there are certain keywords, technical jargon is there. So when you're reading the sections, please read these keywords out loud so that they register in your mind. You're able to recollect them. You're able to remember them. Okay. Second thing is you'll have to stick with one book only from the beginning till the end. Many times students, they jump from one book to the other. It wastes a lot of time. It's not a good strategy. So try to stick to one book only from the very beginning. So therefore, selection of the book becomes very important. Okay, so go with the book that is simple and easy to understand, which is whatever works for you. Just pick a book and then go with it for the second reading also and third reading also. Now, this is a question that many students have, that is whether you should remember the sections or not. Okay, so see, at the inter level, it's not necessary that you remember the sections. It's more important that you remember the provisions accurately, that you remember the keywords and the time limits accurately. Okay, but if you're someone who's aiming for a rank, then definitely, or if you want to get exemption in law, then definitely I would suggest that you make a list of sections. Okay, and then you try to recollect these sections once in a while. Okay, so but in the examination, please don't quote wrong sections. You might lose out all the marks. Okay, also about penalties, many students, they have doubts whether they should be doing the penalties or not. So see, these days in the paper, penalties are being asked. The paper has kind of leveled up, so 4 marks roughly are coming for penalties. So I would suggest that you make a list for penalties also. So it's better to be on a safe side. You make a list of penalties for every single chapter and you try to remember those penalties also. So if you're able to remember in the examination, great, you can quote it. If you don't remember, then it's okay. Don't quote it. Don't quote wrong penalties. You can simply write as per the penalty prescribed in the Companies Act. Right? But it's important that right now only you make a list of sections and penalties. Okay. Next is, I already told you, like you have to focus on concepts and in even little parts of the section can be asked. Okay. And then finally, like now, because you'll be starting the study or maybe a little bit of study is done, right now it is going to take you a little time to build the momentum. But once you get in the flow of it, you'll have to make the most of it. Right now, try to be a little more patient. Try to start with 4 hours, 5 hours, then 8 hours, and slowly, gradually progress to 10 hours, 12 hours of study. Yeah, so that's it for now. From my side, we can definitely discuss the questions if you have.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Yogita. I will come back to questions slightly later. And one more thing to all the students, along with your, if you have purchased group 1 or group 2 fully, we have a free mentorship access to you guys. Okay. So if you have not completed it, please ensure you, follow the instructions and you complete the, mentorship program, because if you are someone who is not able to start, or if you are someone who is like, I've started for 2 days, then I'm resting for 2 days, then I'm not able to study, then something comes up, then somebody else disturbs you, then you go and disturb somebody. Okay, if you are into this, all of this cycle, no, so then please ensure you have access to it. It is available inside the full group purchases. Please contact the mentor, schedule the mentorship classes, and take benefit of that. It has helped a lot of students to move from 4 to 5 hours of reading to 7 to 8 hours of quality reading and studying. When I'm saying reading, studying. Those of you who want to enroll for it separately, you can enroll for it definitely. That is one thing what I missed out telling earlier. Right, so we have covered corporate law in detail. Over to you, Shivteja, for direct taxation and indirect taxation, the overall strategy what students should be following. And friends, this is a broader guidelines. Okay, we are still 5-6 months away from the exams. This is a starter for you. We'll come again and we'll have discussions per subject wise. We'll try to figure out where are you, lacking and all of that, so that you can move to the next level of preparation.
Yeah. Thank you, Suraj, and thank you, Yogita ma'am. This was good insights in terms of accounts and law. And now, guys, let me talk about some interesting aspects in taxation. See, fundamentally, the approach what you need to have for preparation strategy is very clear for every subject as such. But I just want to highlight some important areas from specifically from tax perspective, so that you get a clear insight in terms of how our preparation has to go on. See, one thing is very clear, that you guys just would have started off, or some of them would have been in the midway, or some of them are yet to kickstart. But my point is very clear: when you start, how much is important, when you complete is also equally important, so that you get some enough spacious time for yourself to do the perfect round of revision. That's very, very important. So who have just started watching the videos, I'm sure it's high time that you guys should complete that very quickly, so that you get a complete command and hold over the subject. So I'll just share the screen. So it's screen share.
Yeah, just a second, I'll give you access.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I prepared this not just from a GST standpoint, but the same thing holds good for GST and income tax because both are something like which goes hand on hand with each other. It's not something very different that there is a separate strategy for GST, separate strategy for income tax. Of course, there are some important key areas in income tax, key areas in GST, which we need to highlight upon. But the preparation strategy for taxation subject as a whole would definitely remain the same. So don't worry about it. Now,
Yes, sir.
so when I proceed here, you have some key topics like some important definitions, levy and collection of GST, time and supply, value of supply, composite mix supply, composition levy, exemptions, RCM, ITC, invoice, payments and returns. These are the key topics what you have got. See, two things which I specifically want to tell you. Your preparation should not just be that I'll qualify my CA inter, I achieved everything in my life. That's not the point. You have a long way to go in your CA career. You have got to write your CA final also. And in CA final, direct tax has got 100 marks paper, indirect tax is again 100 marks paper. So your base, your roots will definitely remain strong when you do really well at your CA inter level. Understanding the concepts very clearly and got a good amount of conceptual clarity. See, at least subject like accounts and law, you would have heard slightly a bit in your foundation, where you at least have a brief idea about what law looks like, what contract act is. I mean, law, company law is different. I'm saying not saying that, but you at least heard that word, what is law, what is account. But here you're coming to a new word called tax. But I'm sure you guys know that tax is one thing. It's like a Vodafone network, wherever you go, network follows. So it's as good as wherever you go, tax follows. It's not possible that a person can stay in India without paying taxes, be it income tax or be it GST. For that matter, this is a very, very practical subject where you need to understand the provisions very clearly, interpret them, and then get a good amount of conceptual clarity. And what are all the important topics? How do we focus on one topic and all? That maybe I can talk with you after 2 months when you complete your first round of watching the entire videos. It's too early to talk that. I'll discuss that with you separately, personally, once again. Don't worry. Next, what is the preparation technique? Here, one thing is very clear. First and foremost important thing, which our team co-founder Sriram also specifically accept to this point that watch the entire videos. That is something which we keep on saying again and again, again and again, again and again. Watch the entire videos. And I would also say any number of times you have got that privilege, you have got that access. But one thing is very clear, ensure that you watch out entire videos. 100% of watching should be done. When I say watching, don't just fast forward, you watch it. Guys, tell me one thing very honestly. When we go for a movie, let's say we go for a movie 10 minutes late, the person who's sitting next to us, we will not leave him as soon as we go, correct or not? We'll keep on asking him, Bhaiya, kya hua, kya hua, kya hua? Because we are so curious to know what has happened 10 minutes before we came to the movie. When we are so curious about watching a movie, why not for our own preparation? And that has to happen. So you should watch out the entire videos for sure. And second thing, read the material provided by Indigo. We have prepared a material in a very simple, in terms of a chart, flowchart manner. So ensure that you refer to the complete material. In fact, see, there is nothing like something great or something big is in our material compared to CA Institute material. It's there. See, if you look at CA Institute material or our material, content-wise might be same. But the point is, the simple flow, what we have given, is something which will help you to smoothen your process of learning. That's the whole idea. See, it's not something that we have created some Greek and Latin in our material, but it's all to make sure that your sailing process becomes very comfortable and easy. That's the whole idea there. Next, solve the examples, test your knowledge questions. That's very important. And the fourth thing, which is specifically for tax, which is very important from my end, that is watch the case study based MCQ. I hope you know that multiple choice questions are there in our syllabus, which is actually very scoring. At the same time, that is one such area where there is a high possibility to lose the marks also. In fact, there was an attempt where I'm not able to recollect exactly, but 1 year, 1.5 year attempt was there, 1 year, 1.5 year back. There were 10 MCQs and all the 10 questions, answer was option A. Student has a mindset, first to 4 is option A. How can fifth be option A? It should be option B. See, don't try to get that kind of strategy, guys. Get a strategy of preparation and learning. Don't try to get a strategy in terms of innovation in process. Don't do that, please. So MCQ based study is very important. Watch out that MCQ videos, because what I have done is, see, MCQ material is released by the institute. We have also added some more case study based MCQs where we discussed how do we interpret that. That's the whole thing what we have done. So please watch out that videos for sure. We have got good number of MCQ videos separately listed in our video section. Next, solve the past exam papers, RTPs, MTP. This is a standard thing for any subject you pick up. You have to do it. You should do it. There is no second alternative at all for that. Simple. See, guys, one thing is very simple. When you're going to play a cricket match, how much of a back-end working is being done in terms of your preparation, net practice, everything, that is very important, because ultimately performance, what you do on the day of the match, is directly proportional to the amount of effort what you have taken in terms of preparation. There is no shortcut to the success. It has to happen only by a proper right approach and the process. Just that the learning amount and the amount of time put in, maybe 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, I don't want to define the time. That is your technique, your preparation, how much of the time you want to give. Ultimately, output is what matters the most. But by any chance, let's say one day you have not done something effectively, something happened, maybe some personal work has come up or something is happening. Very good, no problem. But whatever you missed out, it's your duty to cover up, right? So next 2-3 days, plan your preparation in such a way that you give little more time for that one day what you have missed out. That's what you have to plan. Next thing, appear for mock test. What else can I say about it? Mock test is something very important. See, ultimately, your net practice is something which is extremely important. So mock test has to be done. And last point, sometime back only I prepared this PPT. I personally felt that is one thing which I have to underline, highlight, and bold. That's where I wrote that last point. Do not leave any topic for option. See, this would have been the month of where one day before the exam, I would have not told like leave any topic. I mean, start any topic you don't leave. Come on, do everything now. I would have not told that because time is also essence, right? Now time is there with us. So you have to do it. Don't leave any topic. And these times, ICA has become shrewd enough in terms of covering every small topic, every amendment, every small area is being captured. You'll believe it or not, a small 2 marks question has come from label. A 2 marks question has come from tax invoice. Two small marks question has come from exemptions. So there are areas where ICA is trying to touch upon all the topics to test and make themselves feel comfortable and happy that, yes, my dear student is doing everything. He's covering all the areas. That's what Institute wants. Institute loves you a lot. And you have to give that equal love and affection towards them by learning everything. So you have to do that.
Yeah, nice.
And answer pattern, guys, maybe I can talk this more detail maybe after a couple of months, but still relevant provision, facts, interpretation. But the reason why I wrote this point is only to make sure that you guys don't just try to mug up any concept, understand the provision, because the situation, circumstance will be given in the exam. You need to interpret that provision and get the provision in the exam. That's very important. I'll talk about this more detail before your exam. Finally, open to you guys.
Thanks, Yuteja. To our friends on YouTube who are watching us on YouTube, you can join your friends out on Zoom. Link is provided there so that you can directly interact with the faculties and ask questions. Right. So the link is given there. You can click on the link and you can join us on Zoom. That is there. Okay. So coming back. So thanks, Yuteja and Yogita. And one more thing, what I wanted to share with you guys. It's not really critical right now, but I think you should have an idea of what kind of questions that institutes ask. So in our free resource section, you can get this past paper analysis. We'll also update it with the May 22 exam thing. Now, if you see for every subject, you will see some consistency in the pattern in which questions are asked by the institute. Okay, so for example, if I look at accounting. Yeah, so if you look at accounting, then you can, so it's a known thing that 25% of your marks are covered with accounting standards. So if you're perfect in accounting standards, and these are very simple accounting standards. Group 1 accounting standards are really, really simple and easy. There is nothing complicated here. But I'm not telling this for you to, avoid reading the standards. What I'm telling you is these 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 16 are really simple. The red ones are moved to group 2. If you master accounting standards, 20-25 marks are in your pocket straight away. There is nothing where you can lose marks here. So ensure that you cover accounting standards at least properly when you start with. And the reason why you should start with accounting standards is this will give you confidence in the remaining topics. So once I'm done with standards, 20-25 marks is in my pocket, I am done with a big portion of the syllabus. Same thing when you come to income tax. If you are through with the 5 heads of income, you can easily, 30-40% of the paper is covered there. Every attempt you will get questions. Most of the questions come from those 5 hits of question, income, right? So like this, you please, have a thing of, or have a sense of the weightage of each chapter in your preparation. Now, this is not for you to ignore chapters. I'm not telling that. This is for you to understand from where can I get questions in the examination. So Institute also has given section-wise weightage in the, in the viewers knowledge portal. You can download from that. You can have a look at our past exam paper, what I'm sharing with you on the screen right now. Okay. Then we have for all the subjects. So let's say you want to, if you look at costing, one of the paper where a lot of students face difficulty or are scared of.
And just to add on, guys, this is not something which has been done just like that at the back end. Every faculty who has taught you, the respective faculty member has actually sat, taken the effort in terms of understanding what questions have come in the past attempt, and we have consolidated the data. I mean, for tax, I've done it, and for every subject, respective faculty have done it. One thing, if you observe clearly, that more or less the pattern remains the same for almost major attempts, but some attempts you see a fluctuation in terms of a different topic coming to the exam. So this will give a great insight in terms of how your preparation strategy has to be.
Yeah. So, so if you again, look here, about 35-40% are, covered in these chapters for costing. Okay. Now, this helps you understand why some specific chapters are important, or, students have this thing about which chapter is important, which chapter is not important. So this helps you understand relative weightage. Again, when you are starting, we are not telling that you have to leave a particular chapter. What we are telling here is chapters which have higher weightage, please ensure you complete them thoroughly. For example, overheads, almost 10 to 15 marks every attempt. So unless you cover these questions or chapters in detail, you will not be in a position to write the examination properly. So that is one more aspect which you have to keep in mind when you're preparing, right? Then coming back to what all students should be doing. So under your my courses, you have all the courses listed. Then in the same set, you have your mock test listed here. A lot of students keep on asking, where are our mock tests? Where do we say? Where do we get that? Where do we not get that? So you have mock test added there. You have mentorship program added if you have purchased a full group. Okay, and when you open up anything, any subject, for example, if you open, Indies, oh sorry, so I have to register this device. Right, so you get to know what is complete, what is not complete. All of these details are there. You get to see the progress here. Your target should be that this progress of 2% is at 100% at least 2 to 2.5 months before the examination. Do whatever is needed, but ensure that you complete that portion of syllabus well before the examination. Only then you will be prepared for your examination. Then Yogita mentioned about planning. So we have a customizable study planner. Okay, I'm not following this I've just created. So you can create a study planner. I can add, delete, you can fill open slots, you can include a Sunday, you can exclude a Sunday, you can do multiple things, and you just need to for example, you have completed this, you just mark a tick here, so it gets completed. You mark a tick here, it gets completed, right? So then that day is completed. So you also feel a sense of satisfaction that yes, I have completed this. And one simple technique or tool that you can follow is, before you start the day, you list down what all you are going to cover in that day. The planner is there. Write it down in your diary or in your notebook. Okay, today from accounting, I'll finish this chapter. In law, I'll finish these topics. In DT, I'll finish this. Beginning of the day, you write it down, and end of the day, you check whether you have completed or not. This will help you bring discipline. A lot of students have this question about, sir, we are not able to focus. We are not being disciplined. We know we are not being disciplined, but how can we be disciplined? Plan for the day, follow the plan. Have a time for a subject, complete that in that particular time slot. So once this becomes a habit, after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you will not have this complaint of that I don't have time or I'm not being disciplined. Very, very important, because we are talking about 5 months before the exams. So once you get into discipline, it becomes easy for you. So now we are open for questions. Whatever questions you have, we will be doing this. Where is the link? Okay. Exemption possible in law? Yes, definitely exemption is possible. I have almost completed my classes, but I lack confidence in solving. Now, you will improve your confidence in solving by doing mock test papers and by practicing past papers. Okay. Any other questions you have, you want to ask any one of us, please feel free to note, ask us. Link, where is the link? The link is in YouTube description. Okay. Yes, please feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself and you can ask us. This is an opportunity to talk to the faculties directly. If you have any specific query, question. Can I watch lectures with ICAI modules and underline over there? Yes, that also you can do. You can print out our notes and there also you can underline. But do make some short notes on your own. Even I think Yogita and Shivteja also would subscribe to this thing, that if you write, finish the lecture, don't write all the history. Write at least the side points, write at least the important points. Only then you'll be able to remember. See, finally in exams, you have to write. Okay, it's not an interview where you have to talk, you have to write. So you need writing practice. Any more questions? Do feel free to, ask us right now. Yeah. Okay, so sir, do we need to come? We need to do problems from RTP, MTP immediately after completing one topic or after completing the videos. Yogita, what are your thoughts? Should they do it immediately after the videos or should they do it after the syllabus completion?
I think first they should read the whole syllabus, like at least chapter by chapter. You should complete the reading yourself after the videos and then see the RTP, the other questions. So that will help.
Yeah. So what I used to do when I was preparing was finish all entire subject, and then along with the revision, I used to take up RTPs, MTPs. Okay. And it depends. See, it is up to you. If you want to solve past exam papers, we already have chapter wise, from this chapter, which is the question. You can go back, pick that and practice it. So what is, what suits you is what is very important. Okay. Then ICAI or other materials. See, if you have taken classes from us, our classes plus our notes plus ICAI materials. Nothing else is needed after that. Please do more sums in accounting. Yes, definitely we are adding more sums. We recently recorded and added few, and we'll also be adding, we just recently concluded exam papers as well. So you'll have a practice in that. Then, and one more thing is, a lot of students have this thing like, do more sums. What we encourage to our students is, you try to solve those additional questions on your own so that you get practice. See, I may solve 100 questions in the class. All those 100 questions will appear easy to you. Institute will ask 101st question and you might get stuck. So it is important that you also practice on your own, try to solve questions on your own. And if you have any doubts, we have a forum where all the faculties are participating, where we'll help you, resolve your doubts. So that is what will be, important. I have taken free notes last year. Should I now take the notes in lectures? So see, free notes are also good enough notes. Those are not, not that they are not good notes. Along with lectures, we have given improvised notes. So if you are comfortable with the free notes part, you can, follow that and use the study material. Yogita, one more question for you. Possible to briefly recall entire chapter in mind without seeing notes, like active recalling? So I think you mentioned about that active recalling thing.
It will be difficult to recall the whole chapter, but you can definitely try recalling section by section, everything. So just see the section, read the provision, and then just say it by yourself that within 14 days, the document should be submitted to the ROC, etc., like that on your own. So that way, with practice, of course, hopefully you should be able to recollect everything very quickly.
So one thing, I have also one more thing to add here in recalling. I was very poor at recalling things. Like I never remembered, other than few sections, I never remembered any sections. Even in final, I was someone who could not write sections properly because I could not remember. In fact, I had forgotten standards numbers also. Standards and auditing, they had just launched essays. They had replaced earlier standards and introduced new standards. It was difficult for me to remember. Okay. Now, for those who are finding it very, very difficult to remember, the only option is read, revise, read, write. Only then you can remember. Okay, some have really great memories. Hats off to them, and they'll be able to remember. The way our faculties in law and taxation, they cross-refer sections and teach. I really find it amazing because I'm someone. If you ask me, yes, important sections like 43B, 37, those I'll remember. But somebody says subsection 17 to 7, those things I cannot remember, right? So don't put extra burden of remembering sections. But yes, wherever possible, remember sections. And one way to remember is to write. As Varun tells, no, they are like your friends. So more and more you address them, you will start remembering their names automatically. How much cost of all subjects? Okay, so if you have any sales related query, please reach out to our support team on the on the website. You can chat with them. You can message them on WhatsApp. They will help you out. Sir, I have not completed lectures of group 1 and given May attempt. Okay, and should I start preparation of second group? Now, whether to start preparation of second group or not depends on what is your expectation from group 1 attempt. If you're confident of passing, then definitely you can take up group 2. If you feel 50-50 chance, start with group 2. Once the results are out, you can come back to group 1. Okay, but please ensure you complete the balance portion of group 1 and the entire group 2. That is very important. Shivtija, you can answer this something related to provisions. If some words we forget and we miss to write, will we get marks?
See, one thing is very clear, guys. See, the provision you did not write exactly in the exam, still you will get the marks. But some words cannot be interchanged where the language itself will completely get changed and it doesn't sound good. See, let me give a small example. There is some small point like what are the powers of the court and what are the powers the authority has got. There is one point which says examination on oath. It's as what an oath statement. Correct? A student wrote in the exam, they'll make the assessee tell promise. See, where is the difference between that word examination on oath and make the person tell promise? Literally, I mean, the way it looks out is totally different. So some words where it's important that words should have to come, they have to come, but it's not necessary that you have to mug up the entire provision and write as it is. That's not mandatory.
So one thing I'll tell you with experience, examiners tend to look for keywords.
Yeah.
They will look for keywords, and if your keywords are if examiner starts reading all your answers in the doctor handwriting that you write, okay, they will never be able to read. Okay, so I have experiences. Okay, I can't tell much, but I have experiences. It's very difficult to read answer books. So we look for keywords. Did he mention that keyword? Did he mention that technical term? Did he mention the penalty correctly? Okay, and then some kind of judgment goes into that, and you start getting marks for that. Okay.
True. Perfect.
Costing, you should start from first chapter. For those of you who have difficulties in costing, chapters like standard costing, you should do at the last. Don't do standard costing first. If you do standard costing first, you will never like costing. Okay. So chapters like standard costing, you should do at the end. Easier ones like marginal costing, then your job costing, unit costing, activity based costing. So activity based costing you should do maybe after the first few chapters you can start, because that's an easier chapter and you'll get confidence. Then start the tougher chapters like standard costing, and then your cost accounting system, reconciliation, and all of that. You can do it slightly later. Attempting single or both group, preference should be both groups. But unfortunately, if something does not work out, then maybe we can take a call, but don't take a call now. Start with one group thinking that you'll finish both the groups, plan accordingly. Yes, we have covered all the content in the study material in our video and the notes, so no need to worry on that. How can we make theory interesting, Yogita?
Yeah. So see, theory is monotonous for a lot of people. Reading, 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 reading. There's no practical aspect to it. But what we can try to do is that maybe you can read it out loud. Okay. Like when you're reading, just read it out loud. So that way your voice is going to reach your head. And so you will be more alert. Even if you're feeling sleepy, that voice is going to reach your head. So that is one thing. And then what you can try is when you're doing that active recall technique, again, try to do it loudly. Okay. So that will be like you're trying to explain yourself. Okay. And also try to visualize the concepts. So try to imagine like there's a company, there's a person, and there's an actual exchange of goods that's happening, or there's an actual situation that is created. So that is going to help you with the conceptual clarity also. Plus, once you create that story in your mind, initially it might take a little bit of practice, but once you get into the hang of it, it will help you not just at this level but also at the final level. So in general it will help. And also one more thing that you can try doing is you can just solve case study questions after every section. So after every section, just see the examples. So that way you will see the practical applicability, whether you are able to recall or not. So all that is going to make it a little. Otherwise, you can also mix it with practical subjects. So that will keep it a little happening.
Yeah. So that is one thing I think. So theory, one suggestion could be my what I used to do is start first. That should be the first thing you take up in the morning, where you are fresh and because uh, if once you start reading, it becomes sometimes you feel like so much I have read, I'm not remembering anything. It happens. It happened with us. It happened with everybody. So don't worry that I read so much I forgot everything. Nothing like that. Videos, we have given enough examples. You can remember Amitabh Bachchan, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, and all the names that you have taken, Ravi Teja, Shiva Teja, right? So that will help you actually recall the sections in the examination. Right. And then someone had, So as far as study material is concerned, as I told you, all the concepts, illustrations are covered. You should, we have also covered some of the test your knowledge question. The remaining test your knowledge question, you should definitely go back to the study material and practice them on your own once, because I'll tell you one thing. I told this earlier also. I can solve 100 questions. That will give you comfort. But if you are able to solve even 50 questions on your own, that will give you much more confidence in the examination, and that is very important. Okay, so go back, do it on your own, like homework and all of that. If you have doubt, please put the queries at the and in forums, and we are happy to help you. And we'll also have more sessions coming forward where we can again take up your specific queries. First attempt direct entry, can I give both groups? Start for both groups. I think I told yesterday as well, dedicate about 4 hours to 5 hours of your time. See how the preparation goes and take a call accordingly. While reading questions, somewhere I forget which provision will be applicable for the given question. So I think that comes with practice and revision, right? And it's okay, again, you'll not be able to remember 100% of the things. So it's okay if you forget few things here and few things there, that should be perfectly fine. Tips to prepare with respect to accounting standards: complete the modules, complete the questions, come back, we have a revision video on that, finish that, and then solve as many past exam papers as possible. Okay, because accounting standards, if you see, it's a very highly scoring part in accounting paper. You can easily pocket 20-25 marks there. Okay, so Mohan, suggestion for you is to please check out our mentorship program. I think she would be in a better position to guide you given your specific issues that you're facing, right? It would be a one-to-one thing with her, and that would be a better forum to ask. Or otherwise, you can send a mail to support@indigoloan.com, and we will see how we can help you, because you seem positive now, and you are ready to fight back. That's a very good sign. Okay, so it's possible. It's not that it's not possible. You can ignore your age is, I know time passes by, but then age should not be a restricting factor, right? So do reach out to us and support, and we will definitely take your case forward on that. How is Amar Akbar Anthony fruit vegetable business going on?
I read that question. It was so funny. Yeah, it's going so phenomenal. Yeah, the business is going great.
This is going great, yeah. Step marking helps the student, because even if you're done half question correctly, you'll get marks. That's where step marking helps. Notes are available in free resources. If you purchase November 23 lectures and if I start watching the lectures from now, amendments, yes, definitely. Amendments are updated in the content and we provide separate videos for amendments. Both the amendment faculties are there with us. So every attempt before the amendment, we do provide it. Is it true in EIS audit, same language? It's not same, it is similar. So again, keywords are important. That is what is needed. Completed syllabus of group 1, how to plan study by self. So if you have completed the syllabus, have you completed the study material? Hemangini? So you have completed study material. Now for revision, whatever notes you have prepared at the time of preparation, or you can refer to our notes, start revising from the notes. Side by side, take up past papers, RTPs, MTPs. That is how you will be revising. So take one chapter, as Yogita mentioned, right? 3 readings. So you're done with one reading. Now it's time for second reading and some RTPs and MTPs. Then when you come for third reading, then you can plan for the mock test paper. Okay, I think we have covered variety of questions. Thanks for asking so many questions. It gives a lot of clarity to each one of us. Shivteja, concluding remarks?
Yeah, what else, guys? So it's high time that you guys start off. Don't just think that we still have a lot more time to go. Thinking that, sir, it's already May. Guys, let me tell you, from tomorrow it's June. So just wait and watch. July also will come. So time will keep moving out. So just have just few months to go. So ensure that you don't waste your time. Just give your best shot. And at the same time, see, from your end, there should be 100% best effort. That's something very important. And the time once lost will never come back. So please ensure that you utilize your time in the most effective manner. Anytime, any support, our team is always there to help you guys. Don't hesitate at all. Feel free to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Your success is something what we cherish the most. So don't hesitate. Feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Yeah, a few more questions. Purchase November IPC 3 subjects but failed to attempt the full course. So attempt means complete, or you are not able to, complete the videos or write the papers. Apart from ICI modules, test your knowledge, previous paper, RTP. Enough. If you do that, more than sufficient. There is again at CA inter level and also in CA final level. One thing what I keep telling students is we are not doing PhDs. Okay, there is enough. Like you can have for example, corporate law. We have a book by Mr. MS Ramaya. It's a huge book, like maybe some 4,000 or 5,000 pages. We are not supposed to do that. Yeah, try to understand and prepare for the exams. After you pass the exams, then do PhD, whatever you want to. I failed to complete the videos what I had purchased. So you can reach out to our support team. They will guide you on what specific doubt you had, because I'm not able to understand your question. Like, do you want to re-extend the course or something like that? Then our support team will be helping you out on that. I have tax and corporate law to begin. Which one do I do first? Account and costing over. Substantially over. See, technical term, substantially over. Okay. So tax and corporate law, I think you can start, both the things together, right? Morning corporate law followed by DT, then followed by IDT. I think that should be a good one, CB.
Don't worry, you will get that word once again. Substantially interested, both in income tax and GST.
So I think that is what you can do. You can start both of them together. That will help you complete. You can, if you want, you can only go with mentorship. You need not purchase subjects. You can just, take the mentorship program and you can do it. That is not a problem. See, our ultimate objective is you should pass. Okay, you take free notes, you pass, you practice MCQs, watch our revision lectures, purchase our course, purchase only MCQs, do whatever suits you. Okay, but ultimate objective is you should succeed in the examination, right? And for those of you who have also access to Tally and Excel, please finish them side by side, spend some half an hour time every day. That will help you after your exams are over. Okay. So it is nice chatting with you. Yogita, you can give your concluding thoughts and then we will close the session.
Yes. So see, students, as of now, because it's like 5 months remaining, like right now, you might feel a little relaxed. You might not understand the importance of time right now, but it's important that you still gradually build the momentum. Okay. Eventually, in the last 2 months, 3 months, it's important that you give your best. Effective 10 to 12 hours is what is required at that time. So if you start building it now itself, now, then only you will be able to get to that 10 12 hours at a comfortable pace. Okay, so make the most of time. Okay, and if you have any classes left, please try to finish them off as soon as possible, right? And focus on quality over like basically we have to do everything as we just discussed, but make sure that you're giving importance to the quality of your study. Okay, and all the very best from my side and the entire team. So thank you. Yeah.
And one last thing to say. Yeah. So one last thing to say, guys. See, when you're writing exam in November, see, let me tell you, last 1 2 months you require time for your preparation in terms of revision. So if I just cut your September and October, you technically have June, July, August, September. 4 months, 8 subjects. Now it's time for you to calculate what is the time you have. So please don't think that you have enough of time. Time will keep running. So you should also start preparing the best and to the best. Thank you so much.
Varsha had a question. If I give both group or single group, only 5 months left. If you, let me give a very honest thing on this. If you have not started the lectures, if you have not completed any subject, with 5 months you can only attempt one group. I will not give a fake promise or fake assurance that I have seen some videos where people say that you can crack one group in 2 months, 3 months. That those could be exceptions, but honestly speaking, 5 months time, if you say, is sufficient only to finish one group properly. If you take both the groups, preparations, the classes itself will go on till the exams. You'll not have time to revise, and it will unnecessarily dent your confidence. So if you have not started anything, if you have finished, let us say, some 3 subjects by now, then definitely both the groups are possible.
Okay.
Right? Okay, chalo. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot once again. We'll again catch up for further sessions. We have lots of things coming up. Okay, so bye-bye. Take care.